When I joined in dev team, I was making some props, skins, billboards ads, and some buildings like some mansions in Carcer, some restaurants, signs like the Wigwam and the Clucking Bell, the new Dublin police officer, paramedic, firefighter, etc., etc. But one time I started to work in a city or town in SNS, and it was difficult and painful at some times, but I love it to put my skill in the mod. But yeah, it did have some flaws there, but I tried to improve more.
When I started modding, all I heard was that map modeling was too difficult and that I should just stick to small changes to the original map. Today, SNS has 1/3 of its map made. I like to believe that our mod made people realize that map mods can be much more than simple tweaks to what Rockstar created.
Amidst my troubles, I've managed to acquire skills I previously thought I wasn't capable of owning. I've had previous experience with texture making and level design, but never thought I would exit my comfort zone and learn 3D modeling. That field was completely anonymous to me, and it took me a while to just understand how it works and how it's done. Of course, through research and benign answers to my questions, I slowly made my way through the door that I was finally opening. Of course, I wasn't good from the get-go. My first textures and models didn't satisfy the desired result in mind, though through advice and improvement, but mostly experience itself, I've reached far beyond what I expected myself to reach. Yes, it's hard work, and yes, it does get pretty exhausting and tiring, and sometimes tons of fixing and mending takes place in order to correct mistakes and learn from them. But the end result does make me satisfied with my work.
One day, as I was scrolling through YouTube, I stumbled across a video by the Jizzy. It was about GTA United States mod, GTA Stars and Stripes. And I saw a picture of Portland, Rose City, and Northbone County on the thumbnail. I immediately jumped out of bed and joined the Discord server of the mod. I was very amazed by the work, and one day I decided to try and help the developers. I started helping by mapping the buildings on the map in paint.net. I mapped the buildings in Independence City and some small villages. I showed the work to the devs, and they loved it and promoted me to a developer in the team. I was very happy, and after some time, I started learning how to model. Skystripe was teaching me how to model, and after a month, I learned how to model properly. I modeled Anland based on Maryland, and after that, the Gator Keys and North Cordillera. Since I was improving a lot, I decided to remake Anland. I remade it and also added another city there called Anywhere City. Anywhere City was based on multiple cities from central USA, and also it was the city where GTA 2 took place. Combining all of those things was challenging for someone with 2 months of modeling experience, but I somehow managed to make it well. After Anywhere City, I became a development manager in the team. I started working on more difficult cities, such as Cottonmouth, Manhunt 2 City, and Carcer City, Manhunt 1 City. This journey has been amazing, and the dev team is very friendly. I will not stop until the whole map is modeled, and maybe I will even start my own project someday.
When making such gameplay elements in Stars and Stripes, I faced some problems. Especially with the game's limitations, I had to use tricks and hacks, like Rockstar did to fool the game to apply these features. Even made the Patriot Playground mission, ported from GTA 3, but again, it wasn't so easy. Some of the code written is disabled because their functionality is no longer required for Rockstar, thus changing some of the codes were required, but I managed to fix the mission. With our current efforts, I'm thinking Stars and Stripes will become something unique and something that is loved by its fans, and we'll keep on patching and fixing bugs, improving the mod overall for players to enjoy.
I joined the team during the old UG Redux days with no prior modding experience. Over time, I learned how this game worked and researched the path node system in GTA SA, especially since our SNS map was 48,000, beyond the 24,000 limit. After experimenting with various tools and discussing with the team about reducing the map size, I found a workaround using a tool, though it wasn't very reliable. We faced issues like cars not entering cities and frequent crashes due to path link problems. Then I discovered Alex, who developed a revolutionary path import-export script for 3DS Max, which resolved most of these issues. Now we have stable traffic throughout the map. I also refined the mod's file structure, inspired by the UG mod, and fixed numerous critical crashes through intensive testing. I gained this experience by learning from many experienced modders along the way. I also occasionally compile the mod for release and dev builds, which isn't easy given the complexity involved. No doubt, S&S doesn't crash as it used to in earlier versions, even after playing for hours. After spending a lot of time researching the path node system, I've gained substantial experience in creating traffic paths for GTA SA. Having dedicated significant time to this project, I can say I'm now fairly experienced, with most hurdles behind us, and the mod is at its peak of development.
We tried adding more stats, the pager system from GTA 3, and some other stuff. Failed and sheltered to something else. Thanks to the Grinch, we managed to create these ideas. Added multiple new stats for stars and stripes, and the pager system from GTA 3, again breaking the limits of the engine.
The best school in 3D-era GTA art style and game design I had was solely through past, playing these same games since early childhood. I just naturally got tuned to how most details are handled, how little things in those games work, and what makes them awesome. If this were good building foundations for my current GTA modding ventures, going from S&S to content patch, then I know this chapter will, in the future, transform into another foundation for something else. We all can relate to this.
I started the project together with Manu and Santiago Falcone in 2021, to be exact, on September 9th. Well, I'm in charge of making paths for the cars, exporting maps, making radio scripts, among other things that if it weren't for me, the first versions of this mod wouldn't have the quality they've always had. Version 1.1. 1.2, those versions had many small bug fixes made by me. One of those bug fixes was wrong textures and collisions, that for some reason they reappeared. Testing, exporting, routing traffic, and more takes quite a bit of time. The last compilation of traffic paths took me a whole month due to problems with my PC, but as always I strive to bring content to the public.
Back when we were doing UG, we had a behind-the-scenes plan for introducing landmass, but we never had the modelers nor the necessary dedication to pull it off. I think it's great to see them discover and learn about how we did things, and actually improve upon them, as well as to see how S&S evolved from Project Landmass into something that could reasonably be called a successor project. I personally haven't made any direct contributions, such as writing code or making models, but I do try to help in other ways from time to time.
In the version 1.2, Rose City and general area of Lien region was complete or had a lot of work done. Being one of the big cities, Rose City, for the most part, our first progressed area we have done. But from this version to 1.4, we experienced a lot of crashes, problems, and a lot of bugs. We had to find many ways to fix them, for players to have a better experience. Thanks to our community's reports of problems, we managed to find the issues more easily. 1.3 version had Cheyenne region added for the most part. Minwal's landmass improved and the eastern parts of Rabata was added, improving the map overall. In version 1.4, which added Liberty City, Keystone, and Land to the table, as well as radar zone names, car dealership system, rusty brown donuts, a gameplay reflector for Discord, and a teleporter for player who likes to fast travel. And now the next snapshot. 1.5 will be one of the biggest snapshots of Stars and Stripes. Improved map, fixed bugs, proper textures and models, optimized, and a lot of missions, features while added with it.